Kanye West, a man who has consistently dominated headlines for more than a decade, has reached a new level of infamy with his recent antics on Twitter. We've seen Kanye make headlines for everything from his outrageous moments on stage to his political stances, but what's been happening on Twitter over the past few years has taken things to a whole new level. At the core, Kanye's Twitter has become a platform not just for self-promotion, but for expressing his most controversial, wild, and often offensive thoughts. But where did it all start, and how did we get here? Let's take a deep dive into Kanye's recent Twitter behavior and break down what's been happening. To understand Kanye's recent Twitter antics, you have to go back to the early days of his Twitter presence. He's always been outspoken on the platform, sharing everything from personal reflections to his often outlandish rants. Back in the day, it was easy to dismiss some of Kanye's tweets as typical Kanye being Kanye behavior. After all, he's been known to be one of the most unpredictable figures in the public eye. His tweets range from sharing his creative process for albums to praising his children and revealing personal struggles. But as the years passed, we saw a shift. The tweets became less about music, less about family, and more about Kanye's complex relationship with fame, politics, and self-image. However, in the past few years, the volume and the nature of his posts have taken a darker turn. In 2020, Kanye's Twitter behavior started to get more erratic. A particularly infamous moment was his announcement that he was running for president. His campaign was bizarre at best, and his tweets during that period were filled with strange, almost nonsensical statements. He began ranting about the music industry, corporate greed, and even his own experiences with the government. One of the most concerning tweets came when he posted about his own mental health struggles, revealing that he was off his medication. This would set the tone for many of his future posts, emotionally charged, often erratic, and at times incoherent. In fact, Kanye's tweets started to draw a lot of concern from his fans and family. It became clear that his behavior wasn't just impulsive or part of his creative genius persona, it was spiraling into something darker. But perhaps the most controversial moment from this time came when Kanye tweeted about his former wife, Kim Kardashian, and their children in a series of emotional posts. It was a public airing of grievances that many believed should have stayed private. This gave us a glimpse into Kanye's raw and sometimes disturbing thoughts, but it also set a precedent for the kind of tweets that would come in the years following. Then, in 2022 and 2023, Kanye's Twitter presence reached new levels of extremism. It was during this period that Kanye's anti-Semitic comments began to make headlines, sending shockwaves across social media, news outlets, and beyond. It all started when Kanye tweeted his admiration for Adolf Hitler. Yes, you heard that right. He openly stated that he loved Hitler, which left people wondering, what happened to the Kanye we used to know? This was a disturbing shift. Kanye, a man who had once made us laugh with his eccentricities, had now crossed a line that was almost impossible to come back from. The backlash was immediate, with Twitter even temporarily suspending his account after he posted hateful anti-Semitic messages, but even that couldn't stop him. Kanye kept posting inflammatory content, including an anti-Semitic symbol that he sold on his website, all while promoting his latest products. This wasn't just a string of random rants. This was a coordinated effort to sell divisive ideas to his followers. Kanye, a man who had once been adored for his creativity and vulnerability, was now embracing conspiracy theories and hate speech with open arms. And yet, some of his most diehard fans continued to support him, citing his past musical genius or his stance against the media. But it was becoming clear there was no turning back. So, why did Kanye's Twitter presence get so dangerous? What was it about the platform that allowed him to go unchecked, amplifying his most harmful ideas? Twitter, as we know, has been both a blessing and a curse for celebrities. It's given people like Kanye a direct line to their followers, allowing them to bypass traditional media channels and spread their messages unfiltered. But it's also created an echo chamber, where conspiracy theories and hateful rhetoric can easily find a willing audience. Kanye's Twitter was the perfect breeding ground for his extremist views. The platform gave him a space to share everything, from bizarre rants to dangerous ideologies, with an audience that either fed into his ideas or pushed back. The issue is that when you're someone like Kanye with millions of followers, your words have power. And when you use that power to spread hate, it's a dangerous situation for everyone involved. Throughout this period, Kanye's family and friends seemed to be at a loss for how to handle his behavior. His ex-wife Kim Kardashian had to publicly respond to his rants about their family. There were calls for intervention from his close friends, but none of that seemed to stop the madness. Kanye's Twitter antics were now a public spectacle, a train wreck that no one could look away from. His fans were split. Some were still clinging to the idea that Kanye was a misunderstood genius, that his rants were part of his artistic process. But as his comments became more extreme, others began to distance themselves. The once beloved rapper, fashion mogul, and cultural icon was now seen as a deeply troubling figure, lost in his own world of harmful beliefs and rants. Kanye's Twitter activity has had a profound impact on his career. His actions, both on social media and off, have led to the collapse of multiple business deals and endorsements. Adidas, one of his largest collaborators, severed ties with him after his anti-Semitic remarks. The backlash from his fans, business partners, and even the public at large was swift and unforgiving. But despite the damage to his career, Kanye has shown no signs of slowing down. His need for attention, whether through his music, his fashion line, or his social media posts, has reached a fever pitch. The question now is, what does this mean for Kanye's legacy? Will we remember him for his groundbreaking music or for his descent into extremism? Kanye West's Twitter antics have been a wild, often painful ride. From his early, somewhat endearing eccentricities to his more recent dangerous posts, Kanye's proven that social media is a powerful tool, one that can make or break a person's career. As we watch this play out in real time, we're left wondering, is Kanye just a product of the media age gone too far? Or is he a cautionary tale of what happens when a celebrity's ego, unchecked, runs wild? The truth is, Kanye's Twitter rants aren't just about him. They're a reflection of the dangers of celebrity, of social media, and of the unchecked power of one man with millions of followers. And in the end, only time will tell what Kanye's legacy will be, whether he's remembered as a visionary or as a tragic figure consumed by his own need for attention. Hope you enjoyed this one, guys. Please leave a like and subscribe if you made it this far, and I'll see you in the next one.